The fluorescent lights of the glass-walled office seemed harsher than usual that morning. Across the polished oak table, the interview panel stared at her, their expressions unreadable. Claire, a timid 24-year-old from a small town in Ohio, clutched her resume so tightly her knuckles whitened. She had studied, prepared, and rehearsed every answer, yet the fear gnawed at her from the inside. For years she had been the quiet girl, always overlooked in classrooms, forgotten in group projects, dismissed at social gatherings. And now, here she was, hoping that somehow this job could finally be her chance to be seen. But the faces in front of her said otherwise. She had never felt smaller, more invisible, more rejected. The panel exchanged glances, and the words cut deeper than any criticism she had ever received. "We don't think you're the right fit." Claire's heart sank. She forced a polite smile, murmured her thanks, and walked out, her head bowed, the autumn wind outside doing nothing to lift the chill in her chest. Every step away from that building felt like a lifetime of failure compressing into a single moment. But little did anyone know the shy girl they dismissed would soon do what no one else could: save the company's future in less time than it took them to turn her away. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the hidden strength in the quietest hearts, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Claire wandered the streets of downtown Chicago, lost in thought, replaying every word of the rejection. She had studied accounting and finance relentlessly, even volunteering at small businesses to gain practical experience. Yet, all her talent, her late nights, her dedication, none of it mattered to them. She paused at a corner coffee shop, ordering a simple cappuccino, trying to calm her racing mind. She noticed a newspaper on the table beside her. Hamilton Enterprises faces $20 million operational crisis. Her eyes widened. She had read about the company before, dreamed of working there one day, imagining the impact she could have if someone just gave her a chance. That evening she lingered on the article, studying the problem carefully. Hamilton Enterprises had mismanaged a critical investment, and a looming deal could collapse, costing the company millions. Most people would turn away, afraid to step into something so monumental. But Claire couldn't. Something inside urged her to act. She pulled out a notebook and began scribbling calculations, projections, and potential solutions, working late into the night in the dim glow of her apartment lamp. Every cell in her body vibrated with determination. She wasn't doing this to prove the interview panel wrong. She was doing it because she couldn't ignore a chance to help when she had the knowledge to make a difference. The next morning, she took a deep breath, dressed neatly, and walked straight back to Hamilton Enterprises. She didn't have a formal invitation, didn't know if anyone would see her, but her heart propelled her forward. She approached the front desk with a tremble in her hands and asked for the CEO. A receptionist frowned, skeptical. But Claire's quiet confidence, her sincerity, her determination, was impossible to ignore. Somehow, within minutes, she was ushered into the executive suite, standing before the very man who had overseen the billion-dollar company, Jonathan Pierce, a stern, sharp-eyed leader known for his high standards and ruthless decisions. Jonathan didn't even hide his surprise. "You're not scheduled. Who are you?" he asked, his tone a mixture of curiosity and disbelief. Claire swallowed her fear, her voice soft but steady, and explained the calculations she had worked on all night. She laid out the numbers, the errors, the overlooked projections, and step by step outlined a clear, concise solution that could save the company from a $20 million loss. Her hands shook slightly, but her mind was unwavering. For a long moment the room was silent. Jonathan leaned back, running his fingers through his hair, processing every word. He asked a few questions, and Claire answered them without hesitation. Each answer reinforced her understanding. Each calculation confirmed her expertise. And then, he smiled, the first genuine smile in months, perhaps years, and something shifted in the room. "What you've done," Jonathan said slowly, "is nothing short of extraordinary. How did you see what everyone else missed?" Claire's lips trembled, but she managed a quiet answer. "I just tried to look at it differently. I didn't want to give up before even trying." By the end of the morning, the deal was back on track. The $20 million crisis that had kept the entire executive team awake for weeks was resolved in seconds, thanks to a shy, overlooked girl who had refused to be invisible. Jonathan didn't stop there. He offered her a role on the team immediately, one that respected her talent, her intellect, and her quiet brilliance. For the first time in her life, Claire felt seen, not just as a worker, but as a person with the power to make a difference. News of the event spread quietly through the company, and soon the staff learned the story, the girl they had all underestimated. The one who had never raised her voice in a meeting had saved the company millions. Colleagues who had dismissed her, mentors who had doubted her, even the interview panel, they all had to rethink their assumptions. Claire's victory wasn't just financial, it was personal. She had proven that quiet strength, persistence, and intelligence could overcome prejudice and doubt. She had rewritten her story in real time. Months later, Claire walked through the office, not timidly, but with grace and confidence. She had earned respect through action, not words. The shy girl who once trembled at rejection had become the woman who could face any challenge with poise and clarity. Jonathan, now not just her boss but her greatest advocate, often reminded her, "The world often misses the quiet ones, but never underestimate them." Claire smiled every time she heard it, knowing that it wasn't luck that had brought her here. It was courage, preparation, and a refusal to be unseen. And so, what started as a crushing rejection became a story of redemption, courage, and hope. Claire's journey reminds us all that sometimes the world doesn't see our value right away. But that doesn't mean we aren't capable of greatness. Every overlooked individual, every shy heart, every quiet mind holds the potential to change the world in ways no one expects. If this story touched your heart, please engage with this video. Share it, comment below about someone you know who's quietly amazing. And don't forget to subscribe to hear more stories that remind us of the power of hope, courage, and second chances. Before you go, I'd love for you to comment the word unseen if you've ever felt overlooked but kept going anyway. It's a small gesture, but it could inspire someone else reading the comments to believe in themselves too. Claire's story is more than a success story. It's a testament to resilience, to the quiet brilliance within us all, waiting for the right moment to shine. And sometimes, all it takes is a second chance to turn rejection into triumph, doubt into belief, and a timid girl into a hero of her own story.